Hello, I'm Mary and I am playing the minimalism game again. If you don't know what that is, it's a 30-day challenge where you get rid of items on a daily basis to help declutter your home. And it's something you can do with friends or family. You can challenge each other, play it together, or like I've done, I've just done it on my own. So what you do if you don't know about the rules, it's day 1 you get rid of 1 item, day 2 you get rid of 2 items, day 3 you get rid of 3 items, and so on and so forth. And during the month it gets quite difficult towards the end, so you end up doing 30 days of 30 items, and by that point you're kind of running out of things to find in your home. But I have got so many items I want to declutter. I have been away on the PCT. If anyone is new to this channel and hasn't seen me before, I have been hiking the Pacific Crest Trail and I was out there for nearly 7 months, and all I kept thinking about was I have still got so much stuff at home that I don't need anymore. I have done this game a couple of times already and videoed everything, and I'm going to do it with the same format where I video every single day what items I'm going to get rid of so I can share it with you. I personally love watching other people do this, and other people have said on my previous videos they've enjoyed watching me as well, so I hope you enjoy it. It's a game that's been designed by the Minimalists, which is Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus, and I just find it fun. It's nice and motivating, and it breaks it up into chunks because you're not then having to go through your whole home, do everything in one go. You just do it on a daily basis and it kind of builds momentum and you really get into it. So I'm looking forward to starting tomorrow, and I am going to, so it's 1st of December tomorrow and I'll finish on the 30th of December. So this will probably go out the end of December or the beginning of January, so it might be a New Year's resolution for somebody who wants to declutter their home. So I hope you find it useful. If you want to check out any of my previous decluttering videos, I will put them all in the link in the description box below for you to check out as well. And tomorrow I'm going to get started with my first item. To kick off the 30-day challenge, for day 1 I am getting rid of this photo frame. I must have had this frame for over 3 years now, and I keep meaning to fill it, but now it's just got to that point where it needs to go to a new home. Day 2, and I'm getting rid of 2 bags. The first one is this cloth bag, and I've got plenty of cloth bags, so I don't need another one, and I just never use this. I always go to the other ones. And this other bag I found in the back of my wardrobe, and I'd completely forgotten I had it, so that is also going as well. Something that's really changed since coming off the PCT is my skincare regime. Being out there every day, just having coconut oil to do cleansing, moisturising for my hair and everything, it made me realise I had way too many products for my facial routine. So I am getting rid of my cleanse and polish, which was like a makeup remover and general cleanser. I'm also getting rid of my exfoliator, which is something that you use on your skin to make it look brighter, to get rid of dead skin cells. I can just use coconut oil with a bit of sugar or something in it. And I've also got this hydrating calming serum, which again, I just don't use things like this anymore. I'm finding that the more natural I go, the better, and I'm just going to stick with using coconut oil for now. It's the 4th of December and all the Christmas decorations are now up, and I found a few things that I don't want anymore. First of all, where's it gone, is my Christmas fairy. So this has sat on the top of my tree for many a year, and it has now been replaced with a Tinkerbell as well as a little star that lights up. So that was a gift for when I got home. There's also 2 Christmas books that I have now read that I am getting rid of, and also an advent calendar which I no longer want, which has little drawers in it, and what you're supposed to do is put little chocolates or something in each one, but I have not bothered with that this year. I've gone for the more minimalist approach. So that's the 4 items I'm getting rid of today. Day 5, and there is 5 games that I'm getting rid of, as well as a pack of cards. It is day 6 and I have got more bags. I don't know where I've been hoarding all these cloth bags, but I've got 3 cloth bags that are all the same, and I've probably got 3 or 4 downstairs that I use, so I don't need these 3. I've also got some little storage bags. I got a little bag from Madagascar when I went there, but I just don't use that anymore, and the zip's a little bit scratchy on it, so I have no need. This used to be a little travel purse, and again, don't use that anymore. And an old pencil case that I used to keep things in, which I don't use, so all these are going for day 6. Day 7 and some miscellaneous electronic items. I have got a very old satellite device for the car, a Navman. I think I've probably had this over 10 years. I don't think it's worked properly for 3, but I was just hanging on to it just in case. That has now got to go. I've also got a plug adapter as well as a USB plug adapter. I've got 2 phone cases for a phone I've got rid of, which was the iPhone 5, I think. So I've got a Pride and Prejudice one and this one in the bag. Let me just show you. I'm not counting the bag, I'm not cheating, I'm just counting the 2 cases. And that had a little giraffe on it, which was very cute. And a book light, which attached to a book and switched on. I can just use my lamp. And a watch I no longer use. I used this on the trail recently and ended up taking it off and sending it home because I just don't want to know what time it is when I'm out hiking. And if I do ever need to know anything, I can just look at my phone. I have decided to get rid of this antiperspirant deodorant because I found that since hiking the PCT and returning home, I prefer a much more natural deodorant. So I've actually purchased a crystal roll-on one, which has got natural mineral salts in. So I've got rid of the aerosol version. I've got this cream that I don't use anymore. I never use cotton pads because I've actually got nothing left to use them with. I've got these first aid creams and ointments, all these extra plasters that I don't use anymore. And even though it's day 11, I could have counted all these as individual, but I've decided to just group them into little piles that are the same, and therefore I don't feel like I'm cheating myself. Previous Christmas presents have involved jigsaws, and these have been building up over the years. So today I am going to get rid of 9 jigsaws that no longer bring me joy at Christmas. Day 10, and I've got an old Sky box that I've got no idea why I'm keeping because we've actually got rid of Sky TV. We've got 2 Sky micro filter things that you plug into the telephone line, another spare one, a couple of hooks that we've got and I've got no idea what they were for, but we've not used them. 4 very old batteries and also a little mag light, which I just don't use anymore. Day 11 today, and I'm getting rid of even more books. I've got some cookery books, a diving book, random books, travel books, and also this weekly planner that came free in a magazine. So that's another 11 items decluttered. It is day 12, and I have been in the kitchen again today and have managed to get rid of even more items. And considering I did a declutter only in February earlier this year, I thought there wouldn't be much left to get rid of, but I've managed to find 12 items. So I have got some glasses, plastic fork, a funnel for something. I'm not quite sure what that was, but it was in the kitchen utensil drawer. I've got this that you use on a grill, which I never use. I always use a kitchen towel or oven mitt. I have a small bowl, a spare cat bowl, a candle place thing where you put a candle on top, but I never use it. I've got 2 bowls that have got chips in them, so I don't like them, so they are going. I wouldn't want to give anyone those, and also a frying pan. Day 13, and I am getting rid of a lot of pair of shoes. I've got 12 pairs of shoes here that I just no longer use. I don't like having or possessing anymore. I just do not have a need for them. I also have 1 pair of extra insoles that were for a pair of trainers that I don't even have anymore. So good job done today. Day 14, 14 photo frames, and I found these in storage. These were to go on my wall downstairs with my photographs. I like to do a bit of a collage type of thing with all my favourite pictures from all my holidays. But 14 photo frames! I must have had them downstairs for about 2 years, waiting for those photographs to go in them, which never have, and now I've actually decided I don't want that on the wall anymore. It's feeling too cluttered, and I want something more minimalist, maybe just 1 or 2 of our favourite photographs, and these can all go. Since my last declutter, I have managed to read some more books, so I have 15 books that I am getting rid of. I'm getting rid of some miscellaneous items today. The first one is a pop-up mosquito net. This I used to use when I used to go to places with malaria problems or mosquito issues, and I haven't used it for a few years and I don't plan on using it in the next couple, so I'm going to get rid of that. I've got some linens here, so I've got a bath mat, a blanket, table runner, towel. That used to be a cat blanket, she doesn't sleep on that anymore, and a hair towel. I've also got rid of this bag, which I used to put my piano books in when I went to piano lessons, but I've got plenty of other bags if I want to carry on with that. I'm getting rid of this silk mummy liner because when I was on the PCT, I actually got a new liner which wasn't silk, it was a synthetic one. So I've decided to get rid of this one and keep my other one that I've bought. I've got a candle which has just been sitting about gathering dust, so I'm going to get rid of that one. A magazine rack, which I no longer use. I've got a documents folder here, which I don't use. 3 folders. And also this sign, which was lovingly hung for me when I got home. It says welcome home, but I'm not going to keep that up any longer. So that's 16 items decluttered today. It is day 17 and I am getting rid of an awful lot of storage bags. When you start decluttering, you realise that you don't need as much space as you once used to. And I have all these empty boxes and bags I just do not need anymore. So I've got rid of these kind of pack and seal bags that you put your clothes in, you roll up and it gets the air out of them. I've got 5 of those. I've got a cloth bag that I no longer use. I've got a couple downstairs that I use on a regular basis. I have a luggage bag. I've got one, I don't need 2. A box that used to hold probably all these bags. I have one of these vac lock bags that I used to keep my spare linen in. And now I have one lot of bed sheets and pillows, and when they need cleaning I wash them, dry them the same day and put them straight back on the bed. I've got a box that used to store things. I've got all these little packing cubes, so when I used to travel I used to put them all in these little packing cubes. Now I can just put them straight in my bag, that's no problem. I've got another box here that's old, and I've also got a waterproof bag. And I purchased a few new ones for a recent trip, and I don't need this one because it's not as good as the other ones. 17 items gone. Day 18 and a random selection of items again today. So I've got 10 coat hangers here. I've got a box that I no longer use, which is a dance box, and inside it is actually a piano. It's like a Lego piano that my mum got me once, and every time I go to dust it falls apart, so it is just more trouble than it's worth, so that's getting decluttered. I've got a tiny little turtle thing with a bobbin head, another little piano, a Buddha ornament that was a gift from somebody from holiday, a stand that used to hold some decorative item on it, a top of a toothbrush which I got rid of in my last declutter, so obviously don't need that anymore, and also a photo frame that I have no use for. It's day 19 today, but what I'm going to do is 2 days together, so this is going to be day 19 and 20 because I'm actually going out tomorrow, and it makes sense to put all these CDs together as well as these 3 old PlayStation games for PlayStation I don't even have. I have been clearing out my camera drawer and electronics drawer today. I have been keeping hold of this camera for probably 4 years now. I just have not used it in that space of time. It was my first ever bridge camera, which I absolutely loved when I got it, but I do have a Canon DSLR as well as a PowerShot, which is a compact camera, and I have never used this since I've had both of those, so that's going to get sold probably. I also have my very first film camera that I ever got, which again I was keeping on to for nostalgia reasons, so that's got to go. There's this little thing, this is like a flash diffuser that goes on top of the camera, which I don't use, and also I have other things for my flashes now that I would rather use. I found an old iPhone box for an iPhone I no longer have. This is a wireless nano adapter box. I've got some instructions for a camera bag. I've got my remote switch box with the instructions. I don't know why I was keeping that. I've got some spare memory cards for a camera I no longer possess, and some SD card adapters, some Velcro strap things, something off a lens, some buckles, cables and little lights. Yes, that's everything for today, which is day 21. It is day 22 and I have been attacking the toolbox, and I did this last year and found loads of items I wanted to get rid of, but there is still so many things that I've got that we just don't need, or if we do we can just go out and get replacements for a very low price. So 22 items from the toolbox are gone today. Whenever I used to go on my travels, I always used to get A Lonely Planet or another book that told me about the country, the history. It used to have words in there that told me how to speak their language, and also maps and where to sleep, where to stay, because I used to like backpacking a lot. And these books have kind of mounted up a little bit over the years and taken up a lot of shelf space. And I partly kept them because it was a nice memory. But I don't know about anybody else, but do you ever keep books that you think makes you look well-travelled or makes you look like a certain person? And I used to love the fact that I used to have a lot of travel items because I used to think it made me look interesting. Now I just don't care. I don't care what I look like. I don't care what people see when they come to my home. Now all I see is clutter and too much space taken up by books I honestly have not picked up since I got. I'd have ideas of looking at them again and going through them for memories, but I don't use them for that. I have my photographs for that and my travel journals that I've done over the years. So I have decided to get rid of all these books and donate them all. It is the 24th today, but yesterday I made a stupid mistake and actually did an extra 6 items instead of what I should have done. So what I've done is I've deducted those 6 items off today, which means I only have to declutter 18. And I have managed to find 18 DVDs from the DVD shelf that I want to get rid of, which I've either watched or just don't want to watch again. And I've probably got so many more DVDs that I want to declutter now. I used to like keeping them and watch them and rewatch them, but now I'm thinking I would rather have new experiences than watch DVDs that I've had for years and years and keep watching the same ones. So that's what I've decided to do, is start going through my DVD section and decluttering as I go, and probably throughout next year that will be reduced dramatically. So yes, 18 DVDs gone today. Oh my gosh, it has been quite a day today. I decided not to film it all because it was a major wardrobe declutter, and I've done a couple of those already in the past, and you've seen me declutter my wardrobe, my drawers, under my bed, and I decided today was the day to tackle the wardrobe and the drawers because it is the 27th of December. So what I'm doing today is the 25th, the 26th and the 27th all together, which is 78 items. Obviously on Christmas Day and Boxing Day I was not going to be filming and doing decluttering videos, so I thought this is a perfect opportunity to get rid of lots of items. And as you can see, that I have done. All these clothes here add up to 51 items, and it's so funny because when I was doing my wardrobe declutter, I think it was, when was it? I think it was January this year I did it. And all these items I loved and I kept in my wardrobe, but since returning back from trail, a lot of things don't fit me. And I've also just realised that when you're travelling in say one item of clothing for 4 or 5 months at a time, I mean I did change my items when I was out there, but to have 2 outfits for nearly 7 months made me realise I still had far too many clothes at home. So I got rid of a lot of things. I was quite ruthless. I tried a lot of items on. Anything that didn't fit or feel right just went straight away. And anything that I thought I had duplicates of went as well. So these are all the items. I even got rid of my one suit and all the shirts just in case I decided to go for a job or have a job interview. But obviously my circumstances now are that I am becoming a writer and I'm doing my YouTube videos. So for the present moment, I'm not going to be looking for a job and going for interviews. So I'm not going to keep some clothing in my wardrobe for a year, 2 years, however long it might be, just in case I might need them. I can always go out and purchase something or borrow if I need to. Everything else is just things that I don't love anymore, don't feel comfortable, or just isn't me. So I had a real good clear out. I'll show you a picture of what my wardrobe looks like now as well. And obviously when all these items came out of my wardrobe, so did all the coat hangers. So they've added up to I think 27. So I've managed to get rid of loads of items today, and I've completed my mission of doing 3 days in one. It is day 28 and I have decided to do day 28 and 29 together today because there's quite a lot of items I'm getting rid of. So in previous videos I've spoken about sentimental items being something that's really tricky to get rid of when you're starting out on a minimalist journey. And at first it really is tricky because everyone always says leave that to the end because it's quite hard, but once you get into the process of decluttering, it becomes easier. So always start off with easy things like clothes or just general items around the home, whether you've got too many mugs or cups, things like that, and always leave sentimental items to the end. Now this is my third try at the minimalist game, and I have left these to the very end because this to me is one of the hardest things to get rid of, and that is my sentimental items. And it's not sentimental in the sense of family heirlooms or things that people have given to me, but what these are all the things that I've gathered among my travels. Every time I went abroad, what I would like to do is get one item from that particular country and keep it, and I'd put it on my shelf as you saw in the clip before, and it's gathered up over the years into quite a lot of items, as you can see here. I've also thrown in something a little extra, pin badges and fridge magnets as well to make up the numbers because I am doing 2 days in one here. But today it has been kind of strange because I was expecting this to be really difficult, but since I've come back from trail, what I really focused on is not does this give me joy or do I love it, but more of did I miss it? Did I think about it while I was away and wish I could view these items? And the clear answer with all this was no, I didn't. So to me that means I don't need these in my life because, as you can see by some of the items, the dusting of them was more trouble than it was worth. So the upkeep of keeping this, the hassle of having it on my shelf, the space that it took up in my life just is not worth it any longer. So I've enjoyed all these items and I've treasured them for as long as I've had them, but for now they just do not serve a purpose anymore, so I've decided to get rid of all of these items today. It is day 30 and I have been getting rid of an awful lot of things from my travels over the last month, and fridge magnets are another thing. I do not need to keep hold of fridge magnets from every single country I've been to. I don't need them to remember the holidays. I have photographs and I've got my memories and my journals. So today all 30 fridge magnets are going. Well, that is another 465 items decluttered on the minimalism game, and I think that is honestly about the third or fourth time perhaps that I've done that now, and that doesn't include all the wardrobe declutters I've done in the past as well. I still feel like I've got things I want to get rid of and declutter, and I've said in previous videos, my journey about being a minimalist is still a journey. I don't think it's ever going to end, and I am not a typical minimalist by any means where I have like 4 or 5 items of clothes or hardly anything else. I have a life, I've got hobbies, and I do have things that I like. So to me, the things I've got are perfect for what I have in my life. I've got a lot of hobbies. I do running, I do yoga, I'm into photography, I do a lot of videoing and filming for YouTube. So I have a lot of things, but to me, as long as I've got them as minimal as possible, it keeps me happy. It keeps my decks cleared for whatever it is I want to do. And I think that I've done well with this declutter, and I'll probably still do more next year. But I've even got rid of 3 great big shelving units that used to be behind me, and I'll probably put a little clip or photograph of them somewhere. I've got rid of a whole shelving unit in the bedroom, and these are things that I took down before I started. And then the things that came off the shelf, I'm like, well, I don't actually want to keep those things. I'm happy getting rid of them now. So that's what I've done. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. As I've said before, if you want to watch any of my previous decluttering videos or minimalism game ones, I will put them in the link in the description box below. And I'll also dot them around the screen somewhere so you can click on them